This Bowman trying to bring it down. A bicycle kick, and that one is in! A spectacular goal! My goodness! Taylor Twellman goes airborne.
Wynn lets it drop, takes a shot. Oh! That is goal of the year stuff! You're not going to see a better goal than that. Here's Agudelo. Oh, look at that flick. Is that going in? Are they calling it a goal? Yes! Agudelo! Golazo! Unbelievable! Diego, he'll have another shot, and this time he puts it in the back of the net. 50th career goal. Youngest player in MLS history to hit that mark.
Well, that was interesting, now was it? New England Revolution fall in Toronto, not shocking, but the way they did, maybe a little bit. That was an intriguing game. 3-2 up in Toronto, third game of the season for the Revs. Still no wins on the year. My name is Mason Souza. Welcome into Revvin for 11. Isn't that catchy? Catchy little jingle here. Since everyone has no attention span, including myself, no attention span. 11 minutes may be too long. We'll find out. But since it's a little play on words, 11 men on the pitch, get it? Right? We're going to go for about 11 minutes on your New England Revolution, or, if you're not a fan of the team, whatever, you can, if you're a fan of Toronto, we'll be talking about them as well. Third weekend of the year for the New England Revolution. Different lineup, experimenting. Brad Friedel experimenting with his team. That is absolutely fine, and you have to. I'll actually give him a whole quarter of the season to experiment. Get the right lineup, get the right formation, whether it's 4-4-2, whether it's what he wanted to do 2 weeks ago with a 4-3-2-1. It's the experimenting Christian Pania on the bench to start the game. He did see the field later on in the process. Diego Fagundes gets his first start of the year along with Luis Caicedo, and another Caicedo joined in for his Revolution debut later on in the match as well. But no win, obviously tough place. Toronto, 3-5-5, I believe the Revs are since Toronto joined the MLS, so obviously tough place to play for New England. But, I thought they played him tough. Carlos Gil, though, I love this guy now. Carlos Gil is your playmaker, and he has all 3 goals on the year for the New England Revolution. That's right. He has all 3 in 3 games. So, if you look at it from a pessimistic point of view, which, I don't blame you if you do, that's a little concerning, I'd say, or maybe a lot concerning. You have 1 goal scorer through 3 games. Whatever is what it is. One of them was a penalty kick. But nonetheless, listen, I'm not one to... We'll talk about this game from kind of like a chronological standpoint in the minimum time that we have. But my main thought is Gil is a very positive... is a big positive for the Revs. And I'm not one to talk bad about the refs, say, oh, the Revs got screwed playing against the refs. I'm not one to do that majority of the time or even 90% of the time. But you damn well better believe that the Revolution played not only the guys in red, but the guys in yellow out there in Toronto. Unbelievable. That goal, the controversial goal, which you may have seen by now, that Toronto got the lead into half, demoralizing right at the half. Jay Chapman for Toronto is 10 feet or more offsides. The offsides flag actually goes up and then quickly goes down when defender Antonio De La Mea deflects it. And then, but listen, the flag goes up, players stop running. The play should stop, correct? The ball should be dead, correct? But actually, no, that is the rule. One of the terrible rules in the MLS right now is that if the ball is deflected, even if your man is offsides, even if the attacking player is well offsides, if the ball is deflected by a defender, the ball will be allowed and an easy goal. Not even any VAR, which was probably the most concerning for me. If the flag going up, that's one thing. The play should stop. but not even video review. So bad break and bad luck from Delamea, who was having a bad half in the first place. Carlos Heel is livid at halftime, getting in the referee's face. Brad Friedel talks with Brad Feldman and Paul Mariner at the half on, if you heard it on the Sports Hub, the radio station, or obviously on TV on NBC Sports Boston, saying, quote, "It's one of the most ridiculous things he's ever seen out there on the pitch." And that may be so, but unfortunately that is the rule. So is what it is. And so that's a bad break for the Revs, down 2-1 after they went up 1-0. Teal Bunbury, what a game he had. He had success all over the pitch, and mainly when lined up with Chris Mavinga, left back for Toronto. He was too strong for him. His touch, he had 2 excellent touches overhead from crosses. Tremendous first touches getting into the box area, and the Revs would get on the scoreboard early with a 1-0 penalty kick after Teal Bunbury gets tripped up in the box. It actually should have been a yellow or even more severe, but it was actually no call, or no card, I should say. Heel knocks it through. Fagundes failed to knock through the penalty the week previous. On that play last week against Columbus at home, the New England Revs home opener, Heel actually got hurt on the play, so he was off on the field. Diego takes the ball and obviously hits it into the goalkeeper Stefan's lap, basically. But nonetheless, that was last week. This is this week. And the thing that blew my mind is 15 minutes, 16 minutes have gone by. The coach is upset. Your star player is upset. Whatever. You leave the field. Before the ball is even kicked off for the second half, Heel is given a yellow card. I don't know if he was continuing to protest. I don't know if he said anything else. But what are you doing, referee? Sensitive referee. I've never seen that in my life. You get a yellow card before the ball is even kicked off to start the second half? What are we doing? So that's, sensitive referee on my part. Like, put it away. Put that flag away or the card away, and let's move on with the second half. So that just infuriated me. And I'm sure it infuriated the Revs very much so. But nonetheless, maybe playing mad, maybe playing motivated. Heel finds a way into the box, and some luck here. A squeaker gets through, tied up, and this is why I love this guy. He runs to the corner, and he does the motion for the VAR. He celebrates like sarcastically, VAR. I love that. He needs to do that after every goal. After all 25 goals he scores this year for the Heel, for the Revs. Heel's celebration needs to be that VAR motion. I love it. Love this guy. Hopefully he stays with the Revs for a long time. The captain, Michael Mancian, takes an awkward fall a couple minutes later in the second half. He got up gimpy, but tough guy. Obviously, week 1, I was very suspect about him. I'm like, why are you hurt before week 1 even kicks off? That's very disturbing or concerning. Why is your captain not fit? But, he was taken down twice. His own goalkeeper, Brad Knighton, on a cross. He gets punched in the head. He's down. He actually goes off the field, concussion protocol, whatever. He comes back in. So, good on him. Tough player. The captain stays in, and he looked relatively okay. So, it's 2-2 at this point. Obviously, discarding the one, let's see. Actually, to go back and forth, I said I'd go in chronological order, but I'm already all over the place. Heel with a penalty goes through from Bunbury's great run into the box, or great touch. 5 minutes later, or 6 minutes later, Toronto answers quickly, and it's the 19-year-old Ayo Akinola single-handedly slicing through the Revs defense. Delamea looked like a turnstile, and Knighton is frozen in goal as the ball finds the back of the net. And as I mentioned, the big thing later with Delamea getting deflected, the bad luck, already having a bad first half, so that's tough on his part. That was 2-1. The Revs would answer a couple minutes into the second half. So all of a sudden they're motivated. I loved Luis Casado out there, twice in front of the net, putting his body on the line, blocking the shots. There was a free kick late in the game where Scotty Caldwell gets down, blocks a free kick, or a kick off a free kick. Knighton is pumped up and everyone's ready to try to get this going, but it wasn't enough. Most of the game, Michael Bradley kept in check, but you gave him room for one nice cross down the left side. Finds Justin Morrow at his feet in a low cross to the substitute, Jozy Altidore. Have you heard that name before? U.S. men's Jozy Altidore was substituted in the 68th minute, and he would get the game winner for Toronto. Christian Pinilla and Juan Fernando Casado would come in shortly after that, but couldn't really do much after that. 86th minute, Pinilla, nice set piece, finds Brandon Bai. It was actually a great set piece. Bai could not get the front of his head on it. It goes off the top of his head and over the goal. So that was the last chance, quite frankly, for the New England Revolution. So tough loss. There was controversy. Unfortunately, the rule is the rule, so every goal that went through is right. I'm not ready to pounce on the Revs like some fans are. I'm going to give them some time. I'm going to give them a few more games, like I'm going to give Brad Friedel a few more games to experiment and get the right lineup out there. I thought it was a good lineup. 4-4-2, Fagundes and Bunbury up there. Bunbury is looking like he's keeping that job. He was the man of the match for me on the Revs side. He looked very good. Very, very good. Knighton looked good in goal. Obviously the 2 goals, but he was aggressive, getting into danger zone on corner kicks, getting a punch, getting a nice catch as well. Toronto had the ball majority of the game, as was the case last week when the Revs faced Columbus. Possession doesn't seem to be their game. Looking at the first half, it was almost 2-3, or doubled up, I should say. 64% for Toronto and 36% for the Revs. I mean, whatever. They're still winless after 3 games, but there's still 30-plus games to go. So I'm not ready to panic just yet. Get me to game 8. Get me to match day 8, and I can tell you if I'm panicking or if this team is on the rise. I have optimism right now, is my answer for the New England Revolution. It was a solid performance on the road. Obviously, they come out with 0 points. I'm not gonna go say in moral victory, but I did like what I saw out there. Who the hell, though, is this designated player, Brad? He needs to come in so you can get your premier lineup set. You've teased a designated player for months now. So, I mean, who's that going to be? And what third of the field is that going to be? Defense, mid, or attacking? I want a defender. I think I want another center back alongside Mancien. That's 2 games now. De La Mea has failed. I don't want to be harsh and say miserably, but he's been on the failing end of a performance 2 of the first 3 games to start the year. So I'm actually leaning towards a designated center back to pair alongside with Mancien. But you could also look at the same time and say we need another scorer along with Heel. So it could be a forward you're looking at as well. So there's definitely options for both sides. But Brad Friedel needs to make that decision and make it soon. And it could come any day at this point. But there you go. There's your quick look at the New England Revolution falling 3-2 in Toronto. They will return home next week. They have FC Cincinnati and then Minnesota a week after that, who are having a strong start to their year. This went a little over 11 minutes, so just bear with me here. I'll get it down to exactly 11 minutes at some point. For all you, including myself, with the short attention spans, you don't need those 90-minute podcasts, those solid 11 to 15-minute podcasts. We're in stoppage time. This is what this is. We're in stoppage time on Revvin for 11. That's the goal. We're Revvin for 11. The goal is eventually, maybe by the end of the season, to get to 11 minutes. So there you go. My name is Mason Souza with your report on the New England Revolution's Revvin for 11. I'll talk to you next time. See you.